All right, guys, let's learn how to make an animated GIF. Okay, guys, so I'm going to start by opening up a new project, and I'm just going to call it Sunrise. I'm going to make my width 400 and my height 400, and I'm going to press create. That's going to give me a nice amount of space to work on for my first GIF. It's not going to be too big. It's not going to be too small. The next thing I need to do is I'm going to create a layer. Now I'm going to try to move this out of the way so it's not bothering us. So the first thing I need to do is create my background. These backgrounds, I'm not going to put an _a_ because they're not animated. They're going to stay static, meaning unchanging. So the first thing I'm going to do is I can just create, I'm just going to create a rectangle right here. And I'm going to fill it with a gradient of blue. So what I can do here, I can change, if I look here, I move this out of the way. Go back over here. If I go here, I can change where my gradient where the gradient is coming from. So go ahead and play with that. It's kind of fun, but I'm going to stick with linear and I can change the angle. So I'm going to go something like that. In order to change the colors, all I have to do is click here, and I'm going to click on a nice kind of Smurfy blue that I can find. But you know what? I might want to go a little bit more like this. I might want to, interesting. And then I press OK. If I want to create some more variety, I can just add another box right here if I wanted to. Press OK. So this is now my background. Okay. I could have done the same thing here, but I just would have had to unlock it and do it that way. Another thing I can do, I'm going to go ahead and add another layer, and I'm going to create another rectangle. This is going to be my foreground or the horizon. Okay. From here, I am going to go and I'm going to kind of fill it with, instead of the colors for my sky, I'm going to put my colors of my grass or whatever I want. So I'm going to choose something a little bit darker like this here. And then right here, I will probably go with something a little bit brighter. That's a little too bright for me. Okay, a little too much like that one. It's okay. Okay, and then I'm going to get rid of this bad boy and go over here. So once again, I can press OK, or I can go ahead and kind of change the position of it if I want to, so it looks a little bit more like grass, so the sun looks like it's reflecting on it, which I think I'll do. I can change it to radial, I can change it to angle, you can see what's going on, but I'm going to stick with the linear, and I'm just going to press OK. So this is my foreground, and this is my background for my sunrise, sunset. So I'm just going to go ahead and put background here, so I remember, and this is my foreground, and I'm just going to rename it foreground. Okay, that way I know what's going on. The next thing I need to do is I need to add a layer for my ellipses. And now I'm going to move this down here, so it's going to be in between, it's going to live in between my foreground and my background. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to start creating a sun. So I start here, I'm going to start my sun kind of starting over here. Now my sun, I don't want it to be green, I want it to be yellow. I'm going to choose this pattern because I have it. If I want to choose a different pattern, you'll see here you can kind of like change your patterns, or if you'd like to, you can just have a standard yellow sun, or if you'd like to, you can once again go off on gradients, but I've chosen, I'm going to choose this pattern. Okay, so that's good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to rename this _a_frame1. Okay, make sure that looks good. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to duplicate this layer. Okay, it's going to be in exactly the same place, so I got to move it. And I'm going to move it over here, so in the next stage of my sunrise, sunset. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say frame 2. Cool. Now from here, I'm going to duplicate this layer. You can see that it's duplicated, it's a copy. I'm going to move this guy over up here. Okay? And I'm just going to keep on doing this over and over until I've created a nice arc over here. So I'm just going to start doing that. Make sure that I'm renaming things, so I know that this is frame 3. You can see that that's what happened. So frame 3 is going to go here, frame 4. Okay, I'm going to duplicate frame 4. It's going to be in the same place. I'm going to want to move it. I might actually want to go up and move this guy. Look at how when I move it, it goes back to the frames. I want this guy to be up here. I want this guy And I might want to even change this guy's color. So in case I want to do something different, maybe I want to make this guy look a little different than the other ones because he's the high noon or something like that. I can change him. I can also change him to different colors. I can do whatever I want here. I'm gonna keep him here. I can animate within here, within my shapes too. So I'm gonna go back to this, make sure I'm naming link 1, 2, 3, 4. Gotta get back to this one, frame 5. Okay, and then I'm gonna duplicate once again. It's gonna be frame 6, but I haven't moved him yet, so I gotta move him so he makes more sense. Go back to my move tool. Okay, once again, duplicating this layer, frame 7. Now, cool. I'm gonna move him here, and then I'm gonna do my last frame. You don't have to do 7 frames, you can do 6, but, or fewer, but I just want you to see how to do this. Frame 8, and he's gonna go right down here. And I might, once again, go here. If I wanna do anything and change my shape, I just gotta go back to the shape tool, and then I might want to scale him a little bit different too. So he's like, I might want to make him kind of like a different color. So I have to go here and I can make him like this if I want to, showing that it's kind of like the end. If I want to. That's an ugly color. Okay. So what I have to do now is, so I've got this, I've got my sun, and remember, I'm not needing to do too much. If I wanted to, in any of these frames, what I could do is add some clouds in the background that we're moving with the sun. I can do a lot of things. I can have a rabbit on the foreground moving around. They just have to be on the right frame, right? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to export as GIF and see how it works. Yep. So what I'm gonna do is I can change my speed here. I can do whatever I want. So now I have a fully animated sunrise, sunset. So I can go back and tweak this now, like my A frame. Maybe this guy should be a little bit brighter. And I'm gonna make him this color. So I can go and kind of change the stages of the sun. If you wanna make this the moon, feel free, but I just go to File, Export, make sure it works. And if it doesn't work, there's something going on here within your naming conventions here. So I'm gonna save, and there we go. There's my sunrise GIF. That's all you have to make. Cool Modi. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.